Hello and welcome back. Red Bull first came to the market in 1987 after Austrian toothpaste salesman Dietrich came to Thailand and heard about an energy drink created by Chaleo. Dietrich discovered that this drink helped him cure his jet lag and gave him an instant energy. He tracked down the creator of drink, who was Chaleo, and they both became business partners. The tonic was supposed to help keep drinkers awake and alert, which in other words mean that they had a lot of caffeine in it. After 3 years of testing, Red Bull was launched in Austria. There were a lot of doubters, which meant that there is no demand in the market for this type of drink. Today, Red Bull dominates about 47% of the market share of energy drinks. Well, then how did Red Bull create a market for energy drinks and dominated it? In this video, we will talk about some of the smart psychological marketing tricks used by Red Bull to become an energy drink giant. Let's begin. When Red Bull first came out, energy drinks didn't exist and traditional advertising was expensive. Which leads us to the first marketing strategy, which is Red Bull used strong and meaningful campaigns to create brand awareness. Red Bull first gained a lot of attention because of its Red Bull Gives You Wings campaign, which initially began in 1990, in which a cartoon character, often living a slow and steady life, takes a sip of Red Bull, grows wings, and starts gliding through the sky. Well, the hidden meaning behind this campaign was that even though you are living an ordinary life, after drinking Red Bull, you will be able to do things that seemed impossible earlier. You would be more lively and sporty. Because of this campaign, the company sold 300 million cans between the years 1996 to 2006. Another factor that contributed to success of this campaign was predefined target audience. The target audience of Red Bull was predominantly between the ages of 18 to 34 years old, which in other words is the youth, who have an average to high income. Places where Red Bull concentrated its strategies were university campuses and nightclubs. This makes the brand position itself as a drink for the youth. Extending to our previous strategy is our next strategy, which is making brand volunteers. To reach the youth, we give Mini Coopers and Volkswagen Beetles to the most popular kids at the school, making them brand representatives. These students played an important role in spreading the brand by organizing large parties. But the trap here was that while organizing parties, they used Red Bull as the main ingredient in creating cocktails with other drinks. It seemed to be one of the turning points of the company. Now, Red Bull is widely used in cocktail mixing and is offered by many bars and clubs. They also sponsored a lot of extreme sports, concerts, and music festivals, which leads us to the next marketing strategy, which is identifying Red Bull brand with extreme sports. Red Bull sponsors over 15 sports teams through 11 extreme sports, including Formula One, MotoGP, ice hockey, skateboarding, and surfing. They sponsor events which their target market is already watching. Many young people enjoy these action sports, serving as an opportunity for Red Bull to promote its product. Red Bull aims to be seen as a brand that sport lovers would use. Red Bull's social media accounts mostly post about extreme sports rather than energy drink itself. But a question still arises in your mind that how did Red Bull become so big by just targeting the audience? Well, this leads us to the next marketing strategy, which is insane publicity stunts. In the year 2012, Red Bull hit the global headlines and it decided to try and break the record, which at that time stood for 62 years. The company sponsored an event when an Austrian skydiver, Felix, had a free fall jump from the Earth's stratosphere in a helium balloon. This project was known as Stratos Project. This stunt, commonly known as Red Bull Stratos Jump, which broke two different world records. Creating massive stunts like the Stratos Jump causes their audience to stop, think, and know more about Red Bull, which made them viral. Moving on to the last marketing strategy, which is strong social media presence. In other words, content creation. Social media is another channel that Red Bull dominates with authority. The Facebook page, for example, is full of visually appealing videos, music created by their own label, sports, and events their audience love. On the other hand, their Twitter and Instagram channels focus on images that capture speed, sport, and motion, which reflects the brand's high energy and in turn leads to more number of shares and interaction with their fans. In simple words, the ability to create dynamic social media posts is so good that it stops their fans from scrolling past them, which makes them a social media success. So, in a nutshell, Red Bull puts its product second and the content as well as the value it can give its audience first. The founder of the Red Bull, Dietrich, is the only Austrian billionaire with a net worth of $26 billion, ranking 37 on the Forbes list in 2018. He is an extraordinary businessman who gets rich without inventing a new product but by selling something simply with creativity. He often says Market only exists if we create it, otherwise, it doesn't exist. At last, we can learn three things from Red Bull, which is strong storytelling, putting content first and product second, and consistent branding.